Boy, Chig, wake up and move over, please. Sunday. Chig Dunford, Frank, Lane, and Wendy shared the small sedan's back seat. Ira, driving, Marion beside him, and Claudia rode in the front. Under hot plastic, Chig felt the steel ribs of the automobile's side against his left hip. He did not answer. "Hey, Chig, you deaf? Move over." Lane laughed. "Wendy's hips are sharp as needles." The car's passengers squirmed, knowing the story. Lane had slept with Wendy for 3 months. Then, at the beginning of the summer, she had broken off their affair, but had taken no one new. She and Lane continued to see each other at little gallery openings, at the Café of One Hand for Sundays of softball. All agreed that she acted decently toward him, but Lane kept snipping at her, especially about the pointed edges of her body, today, her hips. "Nothing to move over to, Lane. You'll just have to suffer." Immediately, he regretted using the word, suffer. He did not know if Wendy found him attractive, but hoped she did, and tried always to say things that pleased her. Now, foolishly, he had agreed with Lane about her hips. "Hold your shirt. We're getting there soon." Ira had never slept with Wendy. He had lived with Marion for 2 years. Besides, Wendy seemed not to like men who grew mustaches. "I'll bleed to death before that." Lane went clean-shaven. "That's not a bad way to die." Chig could not see Wendy's face, only her bare legs, 2 sets of knees away in the cramped back seat and very long, tanned the color of natural beige leather. For the past few weeks she had been in Spain, had just returned looking healthy. This Sunday she wore yellow short shorts. Lane had not answered. Perhaps by commenting openly on their bodies, Chig had gone too far. He had created a silence and tried to decide whether or not to speak. Usually, when one of his friends created a silence, Chig would break it. This time, he would have to wait until their feelings subsided and one of them spoke. He turned away, looked out the open window. They traveled up the Boulevard d'Olturas, one of a kind of long, broad avenue Chig had found in every European city he had visited. But Chig considered Boulevard d'Olturas, lined with tall oaks, more majestic than most. Many cafes fronted the boulevard under the oak trees. In each cafe, by use of a bell-bedecked white wire supported at one end by a ring in the outside wall of the cafe, and at the other by a white standard, the management had divided the sidewalk tables into 2 sections. On the right side of the ringing wire, the native men and women of that country wore suits, jackets, pants, dresses, skirts, and shirts in hues and mixtures of blue and red. On the left side, the natives wore combinations of yellow and red. Neither side's colors appeared all bright or drab, all new or all old, but when Chig squinted, the colors blended that way. One of that country's oldest traditions, many foreigners found it difficult to understand. None of the natives on either side of the wire owned wardrobes composed entirely of one side's colors. In the morning, each native in the country would pick an outfit for that day. He might choose blue-red or yellow-red, making himself, for the day, an Atsuo Rirso or a Jualo Rirso. In the street, each native lived the day his morning choice had dictated. The government reserved parts of the subway and autobus for Atsuo Rirsos, parts for Jualo Rirsos. Employers divided their offices and factories in this way. No citizen worked at a permanent desk or machine. Each used that section of the room where the morning choice, Lua Majona Chursa, had led him. Most married couples wore the same colors to ride public transportation or take coffee together. Some couples did not, leading separate lives until they had returned home, locked their doors, and disrobed. 4 or 5 of Chig's 20 or 30 friends had tried to live by the tradition, dividing their closets and making their choice. But soon each and all found it impossible to continue. Some situation always developed which forced them to cross the white wire. Still, they tried their best not to disturb the natives.